Hey guys, it's Jared Polowick from the Outlive team. Now, 9 years ago when I was 23, my body was a wreck. I had old man posture and I was missing a patch of hair in my beard. At the time, I was working as a web designer and I was suffering from tendonitis in both arms. So I had to take prescription pain medicine that gave me nosebleeds, just so that I could keep working hard to pay the bills. But then one day, my roommate Shane invited me in an experiment to do whatever we could to gain weight and become strong. And we called our experiment Lean to Mean. And over 4 months, I gained over 35 pounds and was now in the healthy range of BMI. My chronic tendonitis all but cured. I was standing taller, and oddly enough, my beard patch filled in. I was lifting weights, eating great, and I was running outside in the sun doing HIIT-style cardio to stay lean. I was even able to see my abs while rapidly gaining weight. It was like flipping on a light switch, and I had never felt so energetic in my life. Then, over the years of building our business, I kept lifting weights and continued to get bigger and stronger. But as the training volume went up and my workouts became more difficult and draining, something had to go, and I cut cardio. I went years without doing any cardio. Unfortunately, cardio had become the proverbial bench warmer in my life. I had always planned to sub in cardio, get him some game time, but weight training was just crushing it on the field. The problem with cutting cardio is I'm actually a very lazy person. I'd lift weights and then I'd spend the rest of my day sitting inside at my desk working. And worse still, I worked from home, so I didn't have to go anywhere. And even worse, I ordered my groceries online. Again, I'm super lazy. And then I used Amazon Prime and I shopped for everything online. I didn't need to walk to work. I didn't even need to walk to my car or take transit like the streetcar. I didn't need to walk to run errands. And I'm married, so I didn't have to go out. But then I noticed that my hair was beginning to thin at the very top of my head, the crown. After reading tons of studies and reviews to find out what I could do to naturally stop my hair loss, I found out that one reason why you could lose your hair is cardiovascular health. So it's not totally clear cut. There are a lot of reasons why someone loses their hair, but your cardio health definitely plays a role. Bad cardio means that blood flow begins to slow to the top of your head and the hair gets smaller and then it eventually falls out. This is how drugs like Rogaine works. It pretty much just dilates blood vessels to get more oxygen there to get the nutrients to the hair. So it doesn't actually fix the problem, and it has side effects. Same thing with those shampoos that have caffeine in them. It just helps to get nutrients to the hair while the drug is there. So your hair is still slowly dying all the rest of the time. I'm going to talk more about hair loss later, but I bring this up now because I began researching cardio because my hair was thinning. It sounds silly if I can be totally honest, but I'm glad it made me start looking into cardio because I'm finding out how important it is when it comes to the rest of my body. In fact, this is why I think men hate losing their hair so much. Deep down, I suspect that they know it's a sign that we're getting older, we're losing our vitality, and we're losing how mentally sharp we are, how strong we are, and as I'll cover later, it even affects our virility. So even if you're not losing your hair, there's still a handful of reasons why you should think about doing some cardio. Alright, number 1. It keeps you young in a different way than resistance training does. In a study published in January 2019, researchers found that cardio helped to keep cells young. But oddly enough, the people in the study who did resistance training didn't get these same benefits. Everyone became more fit in terms of cardio health, but only those who did the cardio training got these same cellular improvements, keeping them young. According to an interview with the New York Times, the researchers said that even though lifting weights is hard, the pulse rate of the heart was lower, meaning that there was less blood flow, and so there was less response from the blood vessels. Now, just to be clear, I am not saying that resistance training, like lifting weights, doesn't help fight off aging. It just helps in a different way, mainly through fighting off sarcopenia, which is where you lose muscle mass as you get older. And the cool thing is that researchers think that you can stop that process until your mid-60s by lifting weights. and even after you're older than 65, lifting still helps. So if you want to be optimally healthy, fit, and strong, you're going to want to do both cardio and lifting weights because they work together. Alright, number 2. Doing cardio makes you think more quickly, you have better memory, and changes the way that you think. In one study, just a 10-minute ride on a stationary bike boosted brain performance by 14%. And then in another study, it showed that doing cardio could help with learning better and long-term memory. Now there's a whole bunch of studies showing how cardio can help your brain. And there's a clinical professor of psychiatry at Harvard Med, Dr. John Ratey, who wrote a great book called Spark, where he pretty much just explains the research of how cardio makes you learn better, be more creative, and think better. Number 3. Doing cardio crushes anxiety, depression, and diseases. In one study, just doing as little as 1 hour a week of cardio, super easy, just doing some light walking or swimming, well, that was enough to ward off depression. And the good news is that many other studies have found similar results for anxiety. And when it comes to diseases, cardiovascular disease is actually the number 1 killer of both men and women in the US. The crazy thing is, researchers say we could fix this because it's not even genetic. The main thing is exercising and staying lean, both things cardio can help with. On top of that, cardio helps to fight off diabetes, certain cancers, and dementia. Alright, number 4. Cardio might help to keep more hair on your head, especially if you get outside to do it. Hair loss is complicated, and we don't exactly know why it happens, as it's a little bit related to our genes. But at the same time, losing your hair and graying hair is associated with early heart disease and getting prostate cancer in the future. The crazy thing is that if you're balding and graying, that's an even bigger predictor of heart disease than being obese. Now that doesn't mean that bad cardio health is causing your hair loss. We don't know that. But it's possible that it plays a role because our cardio helps to get oxygen around our body. In this study, it found that the places that were balding have 60% less oxygen compared to areas on the head with hair. A derma roller increases blood flow to the head, so does a head massage, and as we talked about earlier, people are rubbing drugs that increase blood flow right onto their head every morning. But just a small tangent on cardio health, sunshine, and hair loss. There's something called calcification, and that plays a role in hair loss. So your head calcifies, and that chokes out blood, and this could be a reason why hair loss is related to heart disease, because calcification of plaque in your arteries is heart disease. So how can we lower calcium in our blood levels? Well, high calcium blood levels and low vitamin D levels are linked. I'm going to quote from this journal. The major function of vitamin D is to maintain calcium homeostasis. It accomplishes this by increasing the efficiency of the intestine to absorb dietary calcium. But new research is showing that it might not be the actual vitamin D itself, but the process of sunlight exposure. So it goes like this. Ultraviolet B hits our skin. 7-dehydrocholesterol has its chemical bond broken by sunlight. That converts 7-dehydrocholesterol into vitamin D. That process kickstarts many other processes, including helping us have proper calcium levels. So if you have a brisk walk outside in the sun, that will help lower calcium levels in your blood, helping your cardiovascular health to improve. Your hair should become thicker, and your bones will get stronger. If you're living in a high latitude country, you should get outside at noon when the ultraviolet B levels are highest. And moving on to the final point, number 5, is that cardio helps to fight off erectile dysfunction. There's more evidence that erectile dysfunction is now affecting men under 40, and it's affecting up to 30% of them. Why are so many young men running into this issue? ED has many reasons, some of it being depression and anxiety related, which cardio can help with. But for many men, it's a very simple problem. It comes down to physical health. According to this 2018 review, erectile dysfunction is related to being physically inactive, having hypertension, being overweight, and bad cardiovascular health. Basically, you can take ED as a warning sign that you probably got bad cardio health. The researchers wrote that based on the evidence, erectile dysfunction due to physical health could be fixed by doing 40 minutes of moderate to intense cardio 4 times a week. So that's the list of 5 good reasons, and if you're feeling ready to do some cardio, I've got just one quick question. Do you even lift? If you aren't exercising at all, you should probably start with lifting weights rather than cardio. The first reason is because weight training is better for helping you burn fat and become more muscular. The second reason is that lifting weights will also work out your cardiovascular health in a unique way. In a 2019 study, people who did both resistance training and cardio, compared to those who only did one type of training, had better total cardiovascular improvements. So to get the absolute best cardiovascular health, you'll want to do both cardio and lifting, as they help collectively. So if you choose to lift weights first, you'll be getting some cardio benefits anyways. The third reason is that lifting weights has additional benefits by challenging your muscles, and your bones will become more dense, and your tendons and your ligaments will become stronger. The fourth reason is that lifting comes with visible benefits that are quick to see. This is because lifting helps to burn fat better and helps you to build muscle. The reality is when you can see the results, it's a lot easier to stay in the groove of exercising. You just know it's working. Lastly, many of us in our daily lives, we're more likely to be walking around than picking up something heavy. So lifting weights typically is the weakest link to fix first when it comes to our body. If you're looking for a way to get into lifting weights, starting with your own body as the weight is a great way to get started. You can check out our free bodyweight workout in the links below. But if you are already lifting, don't miss out on cardio. The encouraging thing is researchers say that the effects of cardio are graded, so that even a little bit will go a long way in terms of results. This is similar to the Pareto principle, where 20% of the work will get you 80% of the results. So if it feels impossible to get started, you can take some comfort in knowing that even doing a little bit of cardio will pay off. Alright, thanks for checking out the video, and until next time, peace.